What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the first and pilot episode of Tequila High Club. I am your host, Blake. Today, we're going to be talking about the stories of tequila, and we're going to be talking about the stories of one of my very, very good friends. Let's get right into it. Gabby.
Hello.
G'day, how are ya?
G'day, mate. I'm good.
Are you excited about tequila?
Yeah, I mean, we probably won't remember anything, but yeah.
Probably wouldn't. As I was pouring this shot, I was thinking might have a little rehaps of some of our events that we've had together.
Jeez.
Okay, so Gabby, we're going to get into some tequila right now. We're going to have a taste, and then we're going to get into who you are. Okay, so what we have today, we have got 1800 tequila. It's a beautiful tequila. It's Reposado. It's made in Jalisco, Mexico. It takes about a minimum 6 months for the French and American barrels to actually come to fruition. So what we're going to do is we're going to sip on it neat first, because I want to see Gabby.
Because that's how we roll.
That's how we roll. We're classy tequila drinkers. And I'm going to see if Gabby can actually get the flavor of this tequila. We're going to try that, and then we're going to have a shot of tequila as we continue to talk. And then we're going to finish off with my favorite, orange juice mixed with tequila. So let's pour this in. When's the last time you had tequila?
About 2 days ago with you. Actually. But you know what's funny? I would never drink it straight, because obviously it's so potent. So I wouldn't be able to, as you say, pick out the flavors, because it's always just knock it back and get it done.
This is the thing about tequila, that no one actually takes the time to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, he was telling me about the story. There's always a story with tequila. And because it's the only place in the world that actually is allowed to make tequila, there's always a really long...
Where is Mexico?
Mexico.
No way, I never knew that.
No one else. It's trademarked, yeah. So
no.
That's the reason why tequila has to be made in tequila and exported from there. So
wow.
The reason behind here, 1800. Let's have a sip as I explain this to you. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for having me. Just sniff it and serve it like wine.
Have a nice smell, enjoy the aroma. The history of 1800 is when tequila was actually first made properly. And it was the first time the barrels actually came out. So it started back in 1758 or something. But 1800 was actually the historical date of tequila. So that's the reason why this is called 1800. So what do you think? What flavor do you think is running through this?
Is it like citrusy or not?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit citrusy.
Yeah. One thing I will say is that normally, from doing my fair doing of shots, it normally feels quite like sharp when you have it, but this feels very smooth when you sip it rather than knock it back.
Yeah.
You know?
So there's always two things like with tequila, is that you have the flavor, but then you have the aftertaste. So when you take that first sip, and see how it's really, really smooth?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Do you taste like a buttery kind of?
Yes, it's like, yeah. It's like that smooth, like it's almost like not, because water's not the right word, butter was the word I was looking for. Yeah.
So that 1800 Reposado is kind of like a buttery caramel. That's the flavor that they've put through. And then notice that it has a bit of spice in it as well. It tingles. So then they brought in like a nice spice like for that flavor. And then on top of that, the finish is the orange, the citrusy. So the orange peel. That's the aftertaste.
So that was the aftertaste.
Yeah, with a little bit of pepper, marzipan. So yeah, so that's that.
So do they actually infuse all of that into it when they make it?
Yeah, so they mix it with, that's the thing with barrels. It's kind of like wine. Yeah. You have different flavors through what type of like oaken that is used. So with these barrels, they must have gone for the buttery caramel.
And then what you said that they let them like what's the word, like for months, basically for 4 months before it's ready.
Yeah, so the 1800 Reposado is from, this is an interesting thing as well, is that they'll use different types of barrels from different countries. So this is this is minimum 6 months in French and American barrels. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, and that's the reason why, 1800 is one of my favorite tequilas, definitely.
And why do they use barrels from other countries though? Do they bring in their own flavors kind of thing?
I think
it's like a collaboration.
I think it's different woods. Yeah, I mean, that's something I'm going to research.
Yeah.
This is the first pilot.
Yeah, it's good things to know.
Myself, but I'm pretty sure, first guess, I may or may be wrong.
Yeah.
I could see like every wood is different in another.
Because there must be a reason for that.
Yeah.
Why would you use it from somewhere else that it didn't add to the value of it? So
Exactly. So, yeah.
there's a pointer for you to know. By the end of this, you're going to be an absolute connoisseur.
I know, I can't wait.
You know, or just an alcoholic.
Just either way, who knows all of the stuff about tequila.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like it.
So speaking of other countries, you're from the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you grow up in the UK?
So I feel like I'm from London because I've spent the last, oh my God, that's how old I am. It's like basically half my life now. I'm 31 now and I moved there when I was 18 because I was going to try and do the maths, but I'm not stupid. Math is not my strong point. But I'm actually from Liverpool. That's where the accent's from. So right now, there might not be that strong of an accent, but after a few more glasses, I'm probably going to be talking like that because that's what Liverpool sounds like.
That was the end of Atlas on Friday night.
Yeah, there you go. God, I read flashbacks. Yeah, so I grew up in Liverpool, but moved to London when I was 18 to go to dance college. And then I just never moved back.
What type of dance?
I actually grew up doing ballet, and I was really good at it. But then I had to have a spine operation. So I mean, I'm sure everybody knows in the ballet world, you have to be almost perfect. So as soon as that was happened, I had to like try and spread my wings a little bit and try and do something else. So then I went to like musical theatre, more of the drama side of things. And then I moved to go to performing arts school in London and kind of went on from there. Weird though, because I feel like when you've done it for so long, you either end up doing it because you land a really good role, or you get to my point at like 21 when I was just exhausted with trying to perform. You know what I mean?
Were you exhausted in trying to
make it?
Yeah, make it?
Yeah.
And always, okay, yeah.
I think, well, it's because like, I always thought that I wanted to be on the stage, like doing 8 shows a week, musical theatre, West End or Broadway, that kind of thing. But then when I actually went to college, we got to have a little taste of that, and it just wasn't for me. Maybe just because I'm lazy, or I feel like I'm not a lazy person, but the 8 shows a week thing for me just didn't really scream at me. So when I was auditioning and stuff, even though I was really good, but the passion is what keeps people going for a long time. Like I know people that were in my year or the year above or the year below that are still slogging away. They get the odd job here and there. They either have a really steady career or they get the odd job here and there, but it's the passion that keeps them going long term. Whereas I just wanted to make money and and do something that gave me that. And then that's when I went into fitness, I think, because it was rewarding enough. And I was able to make money without going and suffering rejection from not getting the show, So, yeah.
So going from, I suppose, like, was fitness already because of ballet, you're already kind of athletic?
Makes sense.
And that's something that... So what type of fitness did you actually go into that?
Dance fitness. Yeah, dance cardio. So obviously, one of my dance friends taught bar, which is a fusion of ballet and Pilates and yoga. She taught that, and she also taught dance cardio, which is a fitness class that is a lot of dance moves that are like fitness kind of vibe kind of thing, which is the best way.
Like a Zumba type of stuff?
Yeah, like a Zumba, but not a Zumba. There is Zumbas. I've never actually done it, but I know that people that do Zumba will be like, that is not Zumba. So I'm like, no, it's not Zumba. Basically, we take like a pop song and like an Ariana Grande song, and we choreograph a class from start to finish. So people will come, and then after a couple of weeks, they'd start to know it. So then they can come and actually put their proper back into it, get a full workout, but not feel like it because you're having fun. I mean, look at us when we go out and we're dancing the night away. We probably do about 20,000 steps without realising it. Wake up the next morning starving because you've done a proper workout. It's that kind of vibe.
That makes sense.
So yeah, so when it's that, and then from then, that's when I loved it. And then I went and did my personal training course, and then started doing the actual fitness stuff, like the weight stuff.
So how did you start? Did you start a business then, obviously, and start running that?
So I used to teach depending on how much money I needed that week, because a lot of the time I used to give away my classes if I'd been out on the tequila. But no, so I'd be doing between 40 and 60 hours worth of classes a week. And then once I was more confident with my with what I was doing, I then took on some BT clients, and that was for a couple of years, and then I did Love Island. So
yeah, tell us about Love Island, because what interests me is how people usually are doing something before going on a reality TV show. Then they get all this fame, and then they totally disregard and then they try and go on this other mend, and then they end up doing nothing really. So it's cool to see, how did you keep your passion so strong with fitness and basically just integrate, your success from Love Island into what you're doing today? How did that passion come along?
Well, I was actually picked up from my fitness videos on Facebook, because Instagram wasn't really a thing then. Well, no, it was, but it wasn't as big as it is now. I feel like every Tom, Dick and Harry's been on Love Island, and there's now massive on Instagram,
Yeah.
So it was on Facebook, and that's how I got on the show, and that's what I was kind of put on as a dancer, personal trainer. So then when I came off, you literally this was 6 years ago now, so everything was thrown at me. When you come off then, everybody got good deals and stuff like that. As I said, it wasn't as oversaturated now. And I did do my fair share of just fashion and beauty and all that, and doing the photo shoots and all that. But I quickly realised that just wasn't doing it for me. One, I'm not a model, and I never felt completely confident or comfortable trying to be that kind of influencer. And I had all my friends that I'm friends with now were all friends from before the show as well. So I'd have people messaging me being like, Gab, you've not worn 3 outfits today. Why are you doing another post? And it's true, because obviously for the money, you're like, just take it where you can.
Yeah. But
it did become more draining than it was fitness. And also, it was my mum and my family really being like, why are you not doing your fitness stuff? So I actually moved agencies, because the first management that came out too wasn't quite right. They were trying to put me in the same footsteps that I was of another Love Island person from the year before me, because she's done really well.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, she's amazing. She's done fabulously, but we are very different. She still does everything that she was doing before with the guy that she was on Love Island, where she's married, she's got a baby, she's, everything's worked out.
With the guy from Love Island.
So it's amazing, But obviously, not everybody's got the same path. So anyway, gone on now, but long story short, I moved agencies, and I said to my management, I want to do fitness. And he kind of just understood me, and we then tried to just use my platform to do fitness orientated things instead.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's finish this glass and then have this shot.
Okay.
And then I just want to quickly just ask, what was the experience on Love Island? Just very easy, because it's, we don't have to talk about a lot, but I think a lot of people really don't understand the, when you come off the show, in the show, because you guys didn't have phones, right?
No.
So I want to talk about that, what that was like. And people don't understand that when you're on reality TV and you don't have your phone, all your connections are a lot stronger.
It's so intense.
Yeah. And then coming off those expectations, kind of what you just said, or everything being thrown at you. We'll talk about that very quickly. And then let's talk into how you're absolutely building an empire. So.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people don't understand that, the way tequila runs these days is when everyone usually has a shot. So what we have here is we have orange pills. Now, if you've never had a shot of tequila with orange pills, then you're missing out. So usually we would put cinnamon on, because remember Chocolate Holiday, when we used to have the tequila, and we used to have the orange peel and the cinnamon.
I mean, he asked me this, but most of the time I had a bottle of tequila like this. Shot. And then I ended up, I wasn't even working there, and I was with the bottle. Shot, everyone.
We should actually talk about that. That's
shot, girl.
That's actually, we should talk about how we met. Great. Because that's actually how we met. So.
With tequila.
No, we're talking about.
Okay.
Right, let's have this.
Cheers.
I think it's a big shot.
It is a very big shot.
Amazing. I'll put this.
Am I meant to eat that?
You can eat it, yeah.
Palate cleanse.
Okay, so let's...
That was good.
Okay, so Love Island. So what was your experience having like no...
Contact.
So having no contact going into Love Island, you're picked up through your videos, you go on there as a fitness. How do you feel like you got super close to everyone because you can't, concentrate on the outside world?
This is the thing, even like watching it now, when people say, it's so intense, people are like, oh, you've been only known him for 2 days. And obviously I'm watching how people are reacting on Twitter and stuff because I find it fascinating from the other side now to, watch. But it is true, like, you have no other option than to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Even with a load of people that you would never normally hang out with in the real world, you're stuck with them. And if you want to do well on the show, you just have to, try and make it work. Yeah, and then like your relationships and everything, everything's just magnified hugely. Because it's true. We all spend so much time on our phones. I don't even want to know what my screen time is. It's disgusting. Because I also work from it as well. But I also do find myself scrolling a lot. And I always try and kind of pride myself in saying that's not who I am. But we all do it, to an extent. So yeah.
Just quickly on that, do you know what I started doing? Because I started noticing that. I took the Instagram app and I just moved it away.
Really?
And I moved it away and I noticed that I kept on going back to it. And
where it was.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. And then so anyway, that's...
Yeah, no, it's true. It's, I think obviously social media is that's not what we're talking about, but it's so like intense anyway. There's always someone that's doing something bigger and better, and then it's so hard to not compare yourself on that. So sometimes you do end up getting in a rabbit hole. But that's almost why I haven't put myself on TikTok. Like I am on TikTok, but I haven't really focused on growing it. Just because I'm like, that is going to take so much more of my time because I don't have 1 million followers on TikTok. So in order to get there, it's going to take a lot of like blood, sweat and tears, because it's crazy on there at the moment. But anyway, yeah, so when you're on the show, everything is magnified. Not only do you have to build relationships really quickly, but you can't leave. I mean, you can, there's a door, but... You walk out and then there's a producer going, don't leave. These are the reasons why you shouldn't leave. And, because it just doesn't work in their favor.
100%.
But then also your relationships, like with, not just even with, your other half in there, with everybody else is just so magnified. So you end up being upset over the stupidest thing. And then when you look back, you're like, oh my God, cringe. Like I would never have been upset over that in real life. Yeah. But in there, you don't have anyone, I can't ring you and go, listen, he's being an arsehole, what do you think about this? And then you give me your perspective on it. You only have these 10 other idiots that chose to do the show as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's their views on it, and you never know who's trying to do you well or who's not. And
yeah. It's one big game. Right?
Yeah, it is a game, and obviously there's people in there that have good intentions, but you do get people in there that are there for one thing, 50 grand.
Yeah,
which isn't a lot. And actually the grand scheme of things these days.
Do you feel people go onto the show more so just to get the fame because they know it's worth more than 50,000?
Mate, transparency. Maybe it's because I've had a tequila, but when I went on the show, I thought I was going to be on there for like a week or so, and I thought, right, I'm going to get 100,000 followers. I'm going to come out and I'm going to charge £100 an hour for PT. That's literally what I thought.
And if what actually happened?
And then I was stuck on that for 8 weeks. So when I came out, I got my phone back and I had just under 500,000 followers. And then within a week, I had 1 million.
Yeah.
And it's because I don't even know how that happens. Maybe it's just your engagement is so high that that's all people see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't charge £100 for PTs anymore. I don't do them.
What do you do now? This is really, I really love because we've known each other for 4, 5?
Yeah, it was 4 years. Yeah. Right.
Seeing how you've grown your business to where it is now, it's super inspiring. And
thanks.
I think a lot of people, this is what I'm excited about. Well, I'm excited about talking about how we met, but We'll talk about that after because that's funny as fuck. So you building your business and having your mindset of, do you feel like it really blew up during COVID? Is that when that sector?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's talk about that. So pre-COVID, where were you in your business? And then what did you sort of adapt and what really blew up during COVID?
So just before COVID, I'd been in the industry for a couple of years and it was not slowing down, but my clientele as such were changing. I was getting better jobs, but less often, if you get what I mean. Mm-hmm. So like when you first come out, every fast fashion brand is like, I want to pay this, want to do this, want to do it, like, and give you everything. Whereas then they started to filter out, and I was actually working with just sports brands really, like, and you know, health and wellness, which is what I want. I want to be more streamlined. Anyway, so I started doing more fitness related stuff, and then I started doing a couple of Shape Up lives, which is where I go back to my roots and I do a class with people, because although, like, don't get me wrong, I'm so grateful for my platform to be able to appeal to the mass markets and be able to do everything online, but there's something different about like being able to go over to someone and correct them and you know, give them and touch someone on, not a weird way, but you know, but like, you know, like kind of just be more, it's more intimate and it's more, that is what I was, to blow my own trumpet, I was a really great teacher.
That's proper coaching.
Yeah, proper coaching, and I loved it, and that's what, look at me, every time I'm passionate about something, like, I want to stand up and give a TED talk.
Yeah, our video team is like, hurry to like re-correct this.
But yeah, so I started doing that, and then I had some booked in and COVID hit, so I had to cancel everything. So everything then went online. So I saw other people started doing some fitness classes, and I think honestly that's the only reason why I was sane during it, because I had a schedule. I was doing 8 live workouts a week at 10 a.m. every day. I was on Instagram just making up another class. And you know what? To this day, I've never once repeated a class. I always make it fresh. Every single day, the day before, I always write a new class. I use the same format because people like certain, you know, they're like, that was an amazing class. But what I like keeping things fresh, because it also keeps it fresh for me, you know? But anyway, so yeah, I went on to that. And then from there, I just built a community. I was working for free for so long, I reckon for a year, just through lockdown, because obviously we were all in a weird place with money wise and everything like that. But as things started to get a bit better, obviously I was like, I can't just do this forever for free. So then I was able to turn it into more of a business, but it didn't change anything. And to be honest with you, everyone that was with me during lockdown pretty much stayed with me. And I have people now that have been with me for 3-4 years, or however long lockdown was. It feels like that was a lifetime ago. Yeah. But they've stuck with me because they knew the value of what they were getting in the first place. So then I've now got an app from, I was going to build my own app, but in the long run, I mean, I'm 31, as I've said, and I think I don't want to have that pressure when I can just do what I'm doing now and have somebody else do it for me. So it's like, went to a company and they could take 20% of what I'm earning, and I don't have to think about it. I just provide the content and deal with the community. And it's basically everything that I was doing before, but it's on a much cleaner, better platform. So yeah, it's like every step since Love Island has been fitness, but I've kind of just had to navigate how I wanted it to go, and then it just growing it from that. And I think I have to say, even though Love Island obviously gave me the opportunity to have the platform, I've fucking worked my arse off as well. And as you said, so it is, I've still put my back into it and really tried to make it work, and it has. I think it's paid off.
I appreciate that, because yeah, like even through like COVID, like you'd call me or you send me voice notes and you'd be asking me like certain things about the app and that sort of, and the cool thing is that when people usually ask you for advice or just like kind of rant, they go off and just like either don't do it or like try and like,
you've learned something from
or they go the opposite way, right? And what I like about you, that you've always taken, you know, that position to try and get ahead, and you're just trying to figure out, okay, when's the right time, and still, but if it's not the right time here, you then come over here and change your trajectory. And I think that's super important for everyone to understand.
Yeah, 100%.
Always, like, even if you're not going forward this way, you can always go forward now.
Yeah, it's so true. It is so true. And I've had different opportunities. I actually brought out an app in 2017, and it did really, really well. Like, it was top of the whole app store for like 5 days, not even just health and wellness, the whole app store. So it absolutely killed it. But I wasn't being managed correctly, and I didn't have the knowledge about the industry to know that if I knew what I knew now, I should have built on that, and I would probably have one of the best performing fitness apps ever.
Yeah.
Because people that are in my competition now, they've been going for a long time, and they've had, had the right kind of guidance. I didn't know that. My old manager thought it was like a kind of quick book. And don't get me wrong, it was just that, but I've had to kind of start from scratch a little bit again. But it's fine because I learned from that, So now it's about building on top of things rather than quick book stuff. And, I think that was what I said about the app thing. I could have spent the next 2 years putting all of my money and all of my savings into building a 300 grand app. Or I can just say to this company, listen, I'm going to pay you X amount. You take 20%. I get a good monthly payment from it, but it's a partnership, and we can support each other in it rather than me trying to find money from everywhere to try and build something
and build something that you have no idea
if it's going to even do well. Exactly. Yeah.
Do you feel that that's some good advice for people that everyone thinks about, oh, am I leaving money on the table, or do I really need to do all of this myself so I grab all the profits? Do you think it's smart for people to think outside of the box and go, look, if I can pay someone, or they take the 20% cut, and then I can just focus on what I want to do. Do you think that's a great way for everyone should do?
Yeah, I think you just have to explore the options that are right for you. I didn't have the disposable income to put aside. I mean, it wouldn't have been there and then 200 grand just to pay it, but it would have been over the next 2 years to have those lump sums of money. I mean, I've got the tax man on my back, and he's an absolute dick. I also have 2 houses to pay for. I support my family and things. It didn't make sense for me to also put that pressure upon myself when I had another option that was, you know what, I might not have my own app to be able to sell in the long run, but I'll have all the data from it because it'll be all of my content, and I'll have all of the emails, which is apparently emails are so important. I'm like, wow,
they went out of the window about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and now they've come in.
Yeah, apparently.
It went through, it went down, and then because social media came up, right? No. And then now you look at Instagram and stuff like that, and everyone realized that if you still want to connect with all your network,
you need the emails.
Yeah, the emails are the best way. Not the best way, but another.
Yeah. So I think it's basically you just have to decide on what's more important: greed and fast. You know that you're going to see the return. I mean, I suppose if I would have had the money, then no. I think it was also my age that played a part. But I think maybe just explore what you look at. It's not the 5-year plan, it's a 10-year plan, it's a 15-year plan. I don't want to be doing what I'm doing now in 10 years time. I reckon I've got another 10 years in me, but things happen, life happens, and I want to have the freedom to be able to do nice things and not have to think, I can't go to Bali to see Blake because I've got 50 grand to spend next month. You know what I mean? It's just choosing what's more important, and if you can do something to a level that you want to execute it at without spending all your money and selling your house.
Yeah, being smart on how to use your cash flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have a drink of this, and then let's talk about the other thing on your app, because I know what that's coming. Ooh. Cheers.
Cheers.
So what do you think about orange and tequila?
I love orange and tequila. I think it's I can't even taste that. Maybe it's because I've already had a shot of it, but it tastes just like it's such a nice balance.
Should we pour more in?
Oh, God. I wasn't there out tonight, but after this I'll be like, right, let's go.
Maybe I put too much orange in.
No, I do. I like the way...
We could go to Luigi's tonight.
Is that the pizza place?
Yeah.
God.
You're going to have to stir it with your finger.
Classic. We started on classic.
It's so classy, now let's get the finger out.
Could have bought a Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh well. Cheers to class.
Oh, cheers. I still can't taste the tequila.
Just drink two sweet past. So the other thing on...
Now I can. So you've done the app. Now, is the app launched?
Yeah.
It's already integrated.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But you're doing one step, which I'm really excited about this, because I really feel like this is where your brand building and what you love, right, is the in-person coaching.
Yeah.
But this is a huge like business moneymaker, and a lot of people strive to do this, and I think you're probably in one of the best positions. So what are you doing now, and where is it? And it's your first. Let's go.
I've literally wanted to do this for years, and it was my way of being able to teach classes again, but not commit long term on a schedule. So I was like, I want to do a retreat. But retreat to me sounds like it's all got to be namaste and, you know, or, which I'm into that stuff. There's that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. There's no fasting involved. I don't, it's not a retreat. It's more of a, like, I want it to be a experience or like an adventure. And I've said on the emails and stuff, it's like shape up adventure. But basically I'm doing a shape up adventure / retreat, no fasting, it's 6 days in south of, it's Marbella. So it's just an hour north from Marbella, so South Spain, I think that is. And it's my first one, and I'm absolutely shitting myself. But everything that I do, I put my freaking heart and soul into it, so it's going to be good regardless, you know? And yeah, it sold out within like pretty much the first day, which is fucking amazing. Yeah, well, I mean, it was getting the money off people saying that they wanted the places was like done there and then. But yes, it's sold. So it was it's nice that kind of gives me it's rewarding for one. It gives me the kind of energy to be like, oh my God, people actually want this from me.
Yeah.
So I actually booked an extra week afterwards because I was going to do, because there was so much response from it. I was like, I may as well just do this following week as well. And then actually took a step back and I was like, right, this is my first one. I should probably just do the first week. Talking about not being greedy. I literally was like, right, I know you're getting excited. Take a step back. You need to process and digest what's just happened after the first week, because as I said, it's the first one. Things are going to go wrong. There's going to be things that I need to learn from and put in place for the next time. So I'm doing the 6 days. Yeah, I mean, it's epic. The villa that I'm doing it in is like 6 flories. 6 flories?
6 flories?
6 stories. 6 stories.
Sure, and you're going to be definitely on the floor.
On the flories.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, the villa's epic, and I was lucky to kind of find someone that is going to work with me on that. And yeah, and then I'm bringing over another trainer too, who she's not a massive influencer, but she's one of the most knowledgeable, talented trainers that I've ever met. She also comes from a dance background. She's amazing. So I know that she wants to do her retreats too, but it's about like funds and things like that. So hopefully she can kind of gain some knowledge about this and then maybe be able to do her own, you know, in the future.
Do you feel that you could probably, because I look up to you, like, I mean, I feel like I always say on Instagram, like, you're my little sister and stuff.
Yeah.
But I look up to you because of just like the success, and you're way fitter than me. Way fitter than me. And
we say that though. I did go to the gym today because I was like, fucking can't be arsed. And then he's like, I'm going. I was like, blink.
Yeah, well, I've also been drunk for the last 3 days.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And thinking about being drunk.
I mean, we are drunk.
We are now. I'm a little bit sauced, I'm not gonna lie. So we fuck, what are we doing?
You say, you look up to me because I'm amazing.
Oh yeah, because you're looking up to me because you're looking up to you. Okay, so I'm looking up to you because I think a lot of people, if you build your retreats, because the retreats is one thing where you could actually mentor a lot of females coming through and be able to show them the ropes, right? And you know, with your following your brand's now going to like grow like even more because of the app, but then also because of the retreats. I think there's a really good opportunity for you to be able to like mentor and help other people. So is that something that you kind of want to do and thought of?
I think like the aim with the retreats is that I would like to get a few years of actually doing maybe 2 or 3 retreats a year, depending on, gonna see how this one goes. I might try and do another one in October, or September, October. But I want to spend a few years doing that, and then I would like them to run on their own, hopefully, and, you know, shape up as a brand. I'd probably be there, but maybe I wouldn't have to teach all the time or whatever. I think if I have a community that's strong enough, they will trust that I would bring people along to teach in the way that I would teach. Because what I find a battle is at the moment is that when I've done my online programs when I was doing them through lockdown, etc., I bring in guest trainers to try and give me a little bit of a break, so I didn't have to do the 8 classes a week, and people loved it. But when I ask for feedback or whatever, it always comes down to, she's amazing, but she's not you. And I'm like, but I'm not immortal. And I also like get injuries, or I have so it's like trying to build my own team that
comes under the Shape Up brand.
Yeah, so they know that it's not always just going to be guaranteed me, because I can't be in 10 places at once, and I can't, you know what I mean? So that's the kind of aim. And then maybe in the long run, you know what, I'd love to have a studio. I think when I choose to stay somewhere for a while, we were talking about this the other day, if I was to live, I don't know whether me and Brandon are going to live in England forever, but I don't think we'll move away forever either. I think we'll definitely end up back in the UK.
Brandon seems like he fucking hates the UK.
Yeah, he does, because the tax man is an absolute cock.
He's getting absolutely raped.
Yeah, but for the future, long run, I think... I
think you guys, I have this feeling that you guys are going to end up in Bali. You're going to be living... I'm going to be able to sick up Spiller. You're going to be like my roommates. I'm not going to charge her any brand.
Thanks, mate.
I'm going to go to a studio for you.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think wherever I live, I would like to I'd love to have a studio for a time in my life. Because I think teaching like that, before I'm too old to do it, I think it's something that I want to do again.
I figured out. Remember how we were chatting? So we were chatting, I think it was at Atlas, or no, it was at
Mosto.
We were in Mosto, dinner. And you're thinking that, okay, Bali's hell far away, and you're not going to be able to, you don't think you're going to be able to get your basically followers and everyone over to Bali. But then I thought you could easily run really cool ads under the Shape Up brand that would target Australians, because Australians love Love Island. And you're one of the OGs, and you're a huge social influencer, right? So we could run some funny as fucking good.
And also, when you also move to another place, though, your algorithm changes anyway, I think, because it kind of figures itself out to be in that area. Like when I was in Dubai, wasn't I, for 6 months? And it definitely, I built quite a lot of following from Dubai when I was there, because it targets those people, I think. Anyway.
I think it's because you're posting at the time, and you're in the stories, so more people are seeing that type of thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, that's something that I would maybe like to do in the future.
We've got some, actually, there's a place called Obsidian here that just got, oh, you went to Obsidian?
Yeah.
So I spoke to another homie who's a big influencer. He's going to be on the show in 2 weeks.
Oh.
And he's funny as fuck. He's he's this German, I talk about Nicholas.
Wait, the guy that was at Atlas? Oh no, he's not German.
No,
he's Australian.
Nicholas. Wow. And then Andrew coming at you strong. He did this funny as fuck video about cameras. Wait, fuck it. We should just watch it. Here's the shit. Dude, I'm gonna watch that. Shout out to Nicholas, because I'm gonna show you this. And we'll just put this up. The thing I love about talk shows is we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so let's look at Nick.
Look at your hair.
I know.
Rapunzel over here, jeez.
Remember when we first met? Okay, now we're gonna do.
We need. Well.
Dude, that's the best to last. My hair was here when I first.
I know.
Yeah. Alright, watch this. Alright, so the video I'm gonna show, and I think so. There's a big thing in I don't know if it's around the world, but Bali. There's so many fitness influencers here now.
Yeah, you don't say.
And
they're kind of really in.
Right, so Nicholas is fucking hilarious. He's mad. Okay, he's always got 1 million followers, but this is his he does all the videos himself. He edits them all.
That's so true. What's part?
Oh my guys. So
That's I love it. Is it here now?
yeah. I was at the gym today and it was there. We had like a fucking hell long like.
You would have been sick to do like a collab with.
When you leave on
Wednesday.
Do something tomorrow. I'll message him now. Alright, hang on. Let's do a video to him. Hey broski, today I'm doing the first episode about Tequila High Club, but we're here with Gabby. He's like one of my best friends in the UK.
Do you want like one of those really annoying influencers with the video cameras? Like, oh my God.
I just showed her your video, bro. So Gabby's a big influencer, fitness influencer from the UK. So she leaves on Wednesday. You guys should definitely team up if you can do some funny shit or something. But
yeah, that's it. Cute. It's so true. I went to Bamboo Fitness in.
Oh yeah, how was that?
No, it was really
Gym's
like
sick, right?
the gym's sick, but
Shout out Will, Bamboo Fitness.
yeah, the gym is sick, but there was this like couple in there, and I was like, how can you not have any concept, like any concept of what is going on? They were literally walking, like say if you were me doing squats.
Yeah.
They'd literally walk around about and like say this is my area. They'd like pick up some weights and she'd be stood there with the camera like this, and he'd just be like in front of me, just like lifting weights, and I was like,
Oh my God.
what are you doing?
I'm gonna send that clip to Nick. Nick was saying that exact same shit.
It's crazy. There was a couple and they were taking it dance to go and stand in other people's workspace, and I'm like, you can like, I obviously film myself as well when I'm in the gym, and you can do whatever you want, but have some like kind of respect. Because also, I moved to a new gym in London, and I got an email the other day saying someone was complaining that I'd filmed in the gym and there was like a person in the background. It wasn't even them emailing. They were just saying, and that's fair enough. I obviously deleted it.
Is their name Karen?
Yeah, their name was fucking Karen. And it was on cinematic as well. Little dicks. But anyway, I was just looking at these people, and then don't get me wrong, they were beautiful people. I'm just like, I'm fucking sweating my tits off, no makeup on, like feel awful. And you're stood there with your six pack and your bleach blonde hair.
I would have started sneezing. I would have
Just got your ass out.
sneezing. Yeah, just like, fuck.
Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about when we first met.
Alright, so we had a first, fucking hell.
So long ago now.
Yeah, it was 2008, it was 2018, maybe end of 2017, because it was before Yana.
No, it wasn't 2017 because that was my Love Island year.
2018 then. Yeah. So I'm in just like, it was like how we met. It wasn't even me who met you, it was like that Manchester dude. Remember Maria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He walked over and was like, didn't he sit like...
He's just been an absolute like...
Yeah, he come over and come down to my level on table like, you're so beautiful. Was that him? Was that you?
So let me paint my picture of what actually happened. So, okay, we're at this place in Dumbarton. I'm even living in Bali for like 6 years this year. So back then, 2018, went to this place called Dumbarton. Best Sunday, like if you ever come to Bali, come to Dumbarton on a Sunday. It's the best time. House music, sick. Anyway, so I've taken one of my good mates, Benny, over to Dumbarton. And so we going to the Sunday sesh, having some food, drinking, and then I was also like running a beach club here as well. Tropicola, it's closed. They're doing better apartments there. And so I took some clients from Tropicola and I said, hey, let's go to Sunday sesh at Dumbarton, let's kick it on. It was like our sister restaurant. And then so the boys getting absolutely sloshed. Benny's with me. And then, no, Benny wasn't with me that night. Benny, we met Ben later on.
Really? No, I think he was there that night.
No, because I was not. Oh, I was that night. Okay, thank you. All right.
Please call us.
Now my lines come back. So we met, and then, so this guy from Manchester, funny as fuck dude, fights MMA, but...
Why don't I remember him?
He got super slut. She was super, super drunk. Super, like, sleazy and drunk. It was stupid.
Oh my God, I do, because we were going to fuck you off.
Yeah, because of him, and I had to come work at his place this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I looked over and I was like, fuck, that chick is so hot. And then he's like, I'm gonna go talk to her. I was like, all right, bro, you go shoot your shot. And I just know that if he goes over there, and then if I come over, I'm gonna be like Batman and like fucking
Save the day.
So that I just went over, and then this guy sits on your table, and then he fucking drinks one of your drinks.
Oh my God.
Remember?
I completely forgot.
Yeah, drinks what? He literally sits down and then goes, oh, hey, how are you? What? And he was like, takes a drink out of your lane, pretty much full drink. And I was like, oh, and us boys are one laughing and cringing at the same time.
Oh my God.
So I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to go over and like sort
Are
this.
you still friends with him?
I haven't spoken to him in a long time.
No.
Yeah, so no.
No.
But great guy. It's a really fun day. Like, wherever you are, hope you're not choking people out. But we had a good time. And so I saw that and I was like, and I had a girl, I started seeing a girl at that time. So I wasn't like, I couldn't go engage with you, but one of my homies from Sydney was with me. And he's like a fucking, Greek god. So I was like, fuck it. Like, I was like, I'll hook you up. But I have to go save this day.
Yeah.
And because you're with Niami.
Neve.
Niami.
Yeah, Neve.
Neve.
Yeah.
She's doing really well. She's rich
Oh
now.
my God. She literally, I'm going to Brussels. She's in a feature film. It's her first feature film. Like, she's the main character.
Fuck, I'm so happy.
Unreal. So
I love how we just changed context.
yeah, yeah.
We'll get back to the story later.
She's the last film that they're playing at the Canada Film Festival.
That's amazing.
Which is amazing. And then they're also playing them at different places around the world. So I'm going to the one in Brussels because
That's so much.
she's so talented. She's so talented.
Yeah.
And also, like I was saying before, it's passion over like everything else. Passion over greed. I was saying in some respects I wasn't greedy, but in that respect I was like, don't fucking want to wait till I get my break. I'll go on Love Island and then I'll do reality.
Yeah. See, Neve has always run with passion. That's the thing I loved about her when we met that night.
She's so passionate.
We started talking about like her, like going to all these auditions and consistently going, and she was always trying to get better as an actor. And like now, it's fast forward 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
Now
But it's like, she still works on her, I wasn't going to say trade, but like, she is perfecting her trade, because I can't think of another word, all the time. She goes to classes, like she's always investing in that, and it's paid off, like finally.
Yeah.
She's got a really nice boyfriend, and she lives in Toronto. We went last year, which is really cool. But yeah, it's finally paying off, so I'm hoping this is like her break and she can be on the big screens and then
she can come on the biggest screen to Tequila Shots.
yeah.
Love you, Neve. So going back to that night, right? Okay. So this guy's like being just absolute idiot. And so I come over and then I sit down next to you and then we start chatting and then I was like, oh, hey, how you going, blah, blah. And then we ended up getting along really, really well. And then
That was it.
And then we
Like next few weeks.
Yeah.
Everyone was going to me, who's this Blake guy? Like, get him with him. And I was like, we actually like just ended up being really fucking good mates.
Yeah.
And also Blake is the guy to know in Bali. Like it was true then, and it's also true now. Like my friend, when I went for dinner the other night, she was like, Blake's a really good person, so he knows everyone. And I was like, well, yeah. But obviously I didn't know that back then. We just got on really well.
Yeah. There was no intentions with it.
Yeah. And it was like,
There was zero intentions because I was with a girl.
exactly.
But the cool thing about you was that you were like 1 million followers, but like you were a fucking lord, and that was sick. So, and that night we got crazy, had a good time, and then
We just spent the next 2 weeks drunk.
yeah, and then you came to like the club, the venue, day club that I was running, and let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about I had to babysit me.
Oh my God.
Because it's a Tequila High Club. So we're in a venue.
Oh no, guys. So now hang on, let me talk about this. So obviously Blake is the man to know, as we've just discussed, and he's the one that is
Sensible in every direction.
well, I mean, you were tequila man back then. Anyway, so we go to one of his days at Trump Cola, and that's Trump Cola, right?
Yeah.
And this guy offers him a like vape thing,
It was a vape. It was something from Saudi Arabia, put it that way.
which is probably never good.
Yeah.
Next minute, he's like,
No, because how it actually was who gave it to me, it came from a Saudi prince. And the Saudi prince brought it over because obviously they're well connected. And then I took a hit. But when he was like, oh yeah, take 4 puffs, the Saudi prince turns around and looks at him and goes, what are you doing, bro? Like, and I was like,
I remember that guy.
yeah. And then I was like, oh. And then we went to the bar and then.
Yeah, and then he was like, do you think, I feel really weird. Do you think, but I can't do the accent, but he's like, I feel really weird. Can you come upstairs with me? And it wasn't like a weird thing, which the ex-girlfriend thought it was probably weird.
She thought it was weird, yeah.
It was him, like, and Blake's always like cool, like, you know, like he's like vibing all the time, but I just knew on his face there was something wrong. And he's like, for the next minute, I'm basically giving him a fucking piggyback up the stairs because he's crawling up the stairs like this.
So I thought I was on the moon.
And he's like, are these stairs moving? And I'm like, no, it's fine, just keep going. And he's like this, like on the moon going up the stairs. And then we're going to this room. And you know the way he sat now? Like he sat forward on this chair and he's like this. Because he was obviously, we hadn't known each other for that long, so you were trying not to be weird.
Yeah.
But he was like this. So what did you do back at home then? And just literally just reading small talk. I'm pissed as well. So I'm like sat on the side being like, yeah, okay, I'm hoping he's not going to die.
I was like, Gabby was sitting, I swear there was like 20 minutes of me not doing anything. And you would just be like, you were just there, just chilling, just there. You're
trying to make sure he's okay. And he's just sat there like this, just asking me, we were
random people coming into the room.
Come into the room and be like, hey guys, you alright? Because there wasn't the pool table in there. There was something in there, then come in.
That weird, that was a photo studio.
People will come in and just like come in and then look at us and they'd be like, oh, these weirdos doing and then
so basically I got spiked because I thought it was like tobacco or some shit and then I got spiked.
Yeah.
By Saudi.
Because vapes weren't a thing then either.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, and then eventually you like
in India.
I think I'm okay now.
And then I came out of it. Then we went downstairs and then
carried on.
And then we kicked on. Was that the umbrella night?
Why don't I remember this?
Remember when we were back to your villa? It was a trek for some reason. And then I put on the robe and then had the umbrella. And
wait, there has to be video footage.
There is a video footage of that. Do you not remember this?
No, I don't remember this.
What's the time? Because this podcast has gone way too. I know you can have all the show.
Oh,
that's a Coca-Cola. What the fuck?
Yeah, but that was just us.
That was just us chilling. That was having good.
Absolutely wild, to be honest.
Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. So you've got your retreat going on. You've got the app going on. You're killing it. We've talked about how we met, and I think that's it. I think let's wrap this up. I've had a really good time.
Should we talk about you?
No, it's all about you.
Really?
Yeah. I got something funny that I want to do to talk about me. It's hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, let's get back to tequila. How was the orange and tequila? Good.
I mean, look, I said funny boy.
You're really sorry.
That was it. Went down the street, to be fair.
Okay, so we went through half a bottle. You need to now rate the tequila. Hold it. Out of 10, what would you rate it?
I rate 1800. Sorry, I say it.
Yeah, Reposado.
Reposado, 1800. 10 out of 10.
Oh.
You know why? Because not just for taste, but experience. Brings out the chat, brings out the love, and it actually did taste really good. Paired with the orange.
I'm pretty sure you're going to get sponsored by 1800 before I do. I got about 2 years to get my fucking brand for Tequila High Club up.
I'll just send you everything they send me.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's wrap it.
No, how would you rate this?
I'd give 1800 like a 8.6.
Okay.
Because I love it. I love the Reposado. Like it's amazing. Like when I've given it to a lot of people and we've like had a lot of like when I've been DJing at parties and that.
The chat, the experience.
Yeah. When you drop it into people's mouths, then people are like, "Oh, I can't do it." I'm like, "Trust me, just give me a little." Right? And they're like, "Oh wow, it's actually really nice."
Yeah.
And I think that comes back to the butter caramel kind of feel to it. So I really like 1800 because it's a smooth tequila and it goes down well and it goes well on neat. It goes well with a shot, but then it goes great with orange juice. You can't even, because you already have the citrus, right? You already have that orange feel.
So
Yeah.
Fuses.
So fuses, and it feels like you're just not drinking it. So you're not only tasting the citrus in a more stronger way, but you actually still get to go through the tequila, which is
Yeah, it
amazing.
complements it very well.
So it works.
Thanks for introducing me to it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I want to use probably the silver next, the silver 1800.
So,
There's different. There's like, well, actually, they got quite a range. 1800 now has about.
is this the original?
It's not one the original. No.
Oh, it's not.
They always come out with like Reposado. They'll have a silver, and then they usually have like a really premium. So, but now they've got one that's got a coconut, and I really want to taste that. So, I think that would be really, really smooth. You know, you'll get the hydration,
Yeah,
but like
of
with the
course.
tequila,
Yeah.
but it just tastes really nice. So, yeah, 8.6 for me, 10 out of 10 for Gabby.
That's because you were involved.
Thank you. All right, let's finish it off. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad we got to do this because you're leaving in 2 days.
I know.
Yeah.
But this is a pilot, so then when I come back in September,
We're gonna have the full
it'll be like episode 10.
episode. What?
What? Will it not be like episode 10
No.
of you?
No, it's gonna be episode like 1,000 because
Oh.
so many people coming through.
And there you go.
Because you've killed the pilot. Thank you.
Love you.
Okay, thank you guys. And again, thank you, Gabby. Thank you, 1800, for this tequila. And we will see you on the next episode where we're going to have a story about another tequila and a story about an absolute another legend. So like and subscribe this, help us to get this out. And we can't wait to get on the sauce again with tequila.
No, yay!